Guys, I'm winning. I'm winning so far. Yay! Okay. Hey, yes, Jesus. Hey. Okay. Thank you, guys.
That was an overjoyed Teri Hourahan on primary night. She took the lead over better-funded rival Hugh Lytle in the No Labels Party primary for governor, and she won the race. It was the biggest surprise of the evening. The party's nominee for governor, Teri Hourahan, joins us now. Welcome to Square Off and congratulations.
Thank you.
I just want to quickly run down the primary field for governor because there will be 4 candidates. Andy Biggs, Congressman Andy Biggs, won the Republican primary with 435,000 votes. Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs, running unopposed, had 500,000 votes. You won your primary with 5,500 votes, and a Green Party candidate who got just 410 votes in that party's primary will also be on the 4-person gubernatorial ballot. You're seeking a big job with no political experience, no name ID. Just introduce yourself to viewers as concisely as you can. What's your story?
Yeah, thank you. So my story is, and I want to start with the fact that I don't have any political background. I think that's what we need in politics today. That's what I want running for governor and sitting in our governor's seats, because particularly right now, I think there's too much money and behind our politicians, and somebody coming in that's new. I am a licensed professional counselor. I have a PhD, owner of a business. I've been here my entire life. I'm very passionate about people. I see the harm that's happening to a lot of people in our state, if not all of us, in a lot of different ways, whether it be water, healthcare, education system. And I know personally what it's like to be on the ground level. I'd say I'm on the ground level now, which is, again, what we need, somebody who understands what we are going through.
Why run for governor as a no labels candidate? And I should add, you originally signed up with the Arizona Independent Party. That name was tossed out. Your paperwork shows that. And it became the No Labels Party. But why no labels? And what does that even mean, no labels?
So actually, when I signed up, it was 11/23/2025, my statement of interest, and then 12/1 was the name change. So I actually signed up as no labels, and from the very start I've spoke out against the Arizona Independent Party name change, and I still continue to speak out against the Arizona Independent Party name change. I don't agree with it because the ballot, or people signed, I believe in what the voters voted, or the petitions that went out for the name needed to stay the same. And right now, one of the things that I want to do is create a party for the party, because there's not really anyone available.
So are you representing the No Labels Party?
Yes, I
am.
Are. Absolutely.
But you won't accept the endorsement, I think I read, of Paul Johnson, who was the guy who got this off the ground.
Correct.
Why not?
Yeah, because he, from the very start, I've been the black sheep. I was not recruited into the party. Paul Johnson did not recruit me, as he did all the other candidates. And I speak highly of the candidates, but the moment that Hugh Lytle came into the race, I was abandoned. And I didn't like the way I was treated, or others. So
what does no labels mean? Certainly you believe in certain policies and ideas, but can you be no labels?
Well, to me, it's an independent party representing, similar to no party, unaffiliated, independent, and no labels. For me, it is about being truly independent from the ideology of a party. And I don't serve the party, although every day that I go out, I'm representing the party by being a no labels candidate. But an endorsement to me means that, one, I don't want it, because ultimately I don't feel like I was treated fairly and by Paul Johnson, and I've already rejected the interview for it too.
Okay, well, let's dig a little deeper into your history. What was your most recent party registration before No Labels?
Yeah, so I'm 41 years old. My entire life I've been a Democrat, and then I went to Republican for 30 days, and I didn't agree with the politics of the party. For instance, you felt when you're in this race, when you're in that political climate for 30 days, I could have been a Democrat or a Republican, you feel the pull of the party, and that you have to agree with the ideology of it. And I did not agree with that. I sat down with some no labels candidates, and I desired to be, my platform fits better in an independent.
Okay. In 2022, did you vote for Kari Lake or Katie Hobbs for governor?
Hobbs.
You vote for Katie Hobbs
I did.
2022?
Yeah, I've made that very clear too. That's part of my story, is I would not be sitting here today if Katie Hobbs would have picked up her phone in 2024 and helped me with my business the way that she says she's going to help all businesses. When there's thousands of providers in the state of Arizona right now, including myself, that's part of why I'm running for governor, is they don't, you know, when you're reaching out to the governor and politicians, and I will say that Deborah Nardozzi, I know she lost her race just now. She's a Democrat. She was the only one in office that actually cared to help me, but you couldn't go as far up because Katie Hobbs and Chris Mays ultimately.
So I was trying to get information on just where you stand. I looked at your social media accounts where you're very active. It shows a Hourihan campaign sign that mimics the color and graphic style of a Trump sign. I think we have that. On your, we're going to put, there we go. On your Instagram account, you bash Democrats, Katie Hobbs, Chris Mays, and Adrian Fontes like their Republican challengers would. You agree there is voter fraud. You support the Trump DOJ demand for states' voter rolls. Mm-hmm. You're pro-life, but say you won't back the constitutional amendment. You won't support rolling back the constitutional amendment protecting abortion rights.
Correct.
You like ICE, but not when they shoot people.
Correct.
And then there's this. Your candidate profile filed with the Secretary of State says, Teri Hourahan is stepping forward as a candidate for governor of Arizona, a conservative voice for faith, family, and freedom. A conservative voice for faith, family, and freedom, that's a label that describes some statements, but that label is Republican, isn't it?
Why though? Who labels Republican versus independent?
That's what you see that.
No, I get it, but
you say you are a conservative.
It's conservative
so
is. Well,
are you a conservative?
I'm not a Republican, but I'm not afraid to say that I'm a conservative, independent. But conservative values. So I think there's when you come into politics, people have labels. Spoiler. You know, what is a conservative? What is when you say Christian? Sometimes when I say I'm a Christian, people get offended and say you must be Republican, you must be MAGA. You talk positively about Trump in some ways. Okay, you must be MAGA. I mean that is not true, right? Now I'm not afraid to say there was something that you read, and I can't remember what you read, but the fact of the colors that I'm using, like a flag behind and the colors red to represent, you know, really the United States. I believe in the Constitution.
But all those things I listed are very largely Republican positions.
Why though? Why are they Republican positions?
Because Republicans make them their own and they present them to the voters. That's where we hear them from Republican candidates.
But I also say, in a liberal aspect, that I support LGBTQ. Okay, I actually come from a background. I served on the Arizona Counseling Association as the LGBTQA president. I believe, I can't remember the year, so don't quote me, it's in my resume, but I believe it was 2015. I also published a book in 2018 and autographed. Sole author of that book was on the LGBT that I wrote on. I've done multiple presentations on LGBTQ and suicide prevention because it has the largest suicide rate among trans youth. So I have a lot of other views. I don't call, you know, people in the media call these Republican, Democratic views. I call them, that's the great thing about being independent, right? I get to have, yes, I'm pro-life, but I'm also, I'm not going to repeal the abortion law because I also believe
voters would have to do that.
Yes.
Okay.
But
I want to end with this, the question you always get, I'm sure, and that's the spoiler factor. We have close elections here. This election could be decided by single-digit percentage points. You could play a spoiler. Very likely would play a spoiler and decide who the winner is. Are you comfortable in that role?
I'm going to win this race.
You're going to go from 5,000 votes to the roughly 1.x million needed?
You're going to have me back on this show, and I'm going to say I told you so.
I'm going to mark that date. Stay down.
Please do.
Teri Hourahan, thank you so much for joining us.
I'm going to spoil them all.
Best of luck.
Bye.
And you can now watch Sunday Square Off on Fridays and Sundays. Catch us on 12 News at 2:30 p.m. Friday and 8 a.m. Sunday, or watch us on the 12 News streaming app at 2:30 and 7:30 p.m. Friday or 8 a.m. Sunday. If you miss a show, you can catch up on the 12 News streaming app.